All right.
Folks, you can have a seat. All right, Mr. Hernandez, are you able to hear me okay?
Yes, good morning.
All right, good morning. I'm going to go ahead and go through our initial advisements, and then we'll go ahead and call in the 2 interpreter matters I have marked here, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good morning. I'm Commissioner Procco. This is the 8 a.m. initial appearance calendar for April 25, 2025.
Buenos días, soy comisionada Proctor. Esta es la lista de casos para vistas incoativas de las 8 de la mañana, hoy 25 de abril 2025.
The court's orders for the taking of fingerprints and DNA that was given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar.
La orden emitida en la primera lista del mes para la toma de huellas digitales y muestras de ADN aplicará a esta lista también.
When you hear your name, please step up to the podium that's in the center of the courtroom.
Cuando escuchen su nombre, pasen a la sala y párense detrás del podio que está en medio de la sala.
At the end of your hearing today, you will be provided with some paperwork which will cover everything we go over. That'll include your next court dates as well as all of your release conditions.
Al final de su comparecencia se le entregará una hoja de papel. En ella irá un resumen de todo lo que hablemos aquí, incluyendo la fecha de su siguiente comparecencia y las condiciones cautelares que se han fijado en su caso.
Please keep in mind you have the right to remain silent. Everything you say in the courtroom is being recorded, both audio and video, and could be used in a future court proceeding.
Por favor, tengan presente que tienen derecho de no hablar. Todo lo que digan en esta audiencia será grabado por audio y video y podría usarse en su contra en diligencias futuras en este caso.
We're going to begin today with Domingo Tuhal. Rakinek, if you can step in the courtroom.
Empezaremos hoy con Domingo Tujal Racanek. Pase a la sala.
All right, sir, if you could state your full name and your date of birth.
Señor, diga su nombre completo y fecha de nacimiento.
Domingo Tujal, 4 de febrero de 1994.
Domingo Tujal, February 4th, 1994.
And Mr. Hernandez, I skipped over your appearance, if you could go ahead and do that too.
Martín Hernandez, court interpreter.
All right, sir, you are here for a warrant that was issued for failure to appear at your status conference for your matter pending in Superior Court.
Señor, usted comparece el día de hoy por una orden de aprehensión librada por usted, por no comparecer en la consulta de actualización que se programó en su caso ante el Tribunal Superior.
You now have a status conference set May 1st and a preliminary hearing May 5th, both at 8:30 a.m.
Ahora tiene una consulta de actualización programada otra vez, el día 1 de mayo a las 8:30, y tiene una audiencia preliminar programada para el 5 de mayo, también a las 8:30.
I do show that you are in federal custody and were brought over here on a writ of habeas corpus ad prosequendum.
Veo que usted está preso con las autoridades federales y fue transportado acá por un escrito de habeas corpus ad consequendum.
As a result, you are required to be held without bond at this time, so you're not eligible for release. You'll be held in custody while this case is taken care of in Superior Court.
Por esta razón, usted no califica para fianza. Usted permanecerá preso mientras se resuelve este caso ante el Tribunal Superior.
Do you have any questions regarding that?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta acerca de eso?
Sí, porque no puedo presentar porque estoy detenido allá en la migración.
Yes. I couldn't show up because I was detained over there with immigration.
I understand that. The reason you're being held in custody is because you are still in federal custody. You've just been brought over here to take care of this matter. You are required under law to be held without bond at this time.
Yo entiendo, pero la razón que usted está preso sin fianza es porque sigue en custodia de los federales. Usted está aquí para resolver esta cuestión. Por eso es que usted está preso sin derecho a fianza.
Your failure to appear is not considered a willful failure to appear, but it doesn't change anything that's going to happen here today.
Su falta de comparecer no se toma en cuenta en su caso como una falta de comparecer por su propia voluntad, pero igual eso no cambiará lo que haremos aquí el día de hoy.
Do you have any additional questions at this time?
¿Alguna pregunta adicional en este momento?
No.
No.
All right, sir, if you want to go ahead and step over, that information will be contained in that paperwork as well. Thank you.
Muy bien, señor. Toda esa información va en esa hoja. Pase allá a su asiento. Gracias.
Gracias.
Thank you.
All right, we've got Jorge Dominguez. Sir, if you could step in the courtroom.
Jorge Domínguez, pase a la sala.
Sir, please state your full name and date of birth.
Jorge
Por favor,
Domínguez.
diga su nombre completo y fecha de nacimiento.
Jorge Domínguez, diciembre del 2, 1999. 1999.
Jorge Domínguez, December 2nd, 1999.
All right, sir, you are here for a fugitive of justice warrant that was issued out of the state of New Mexico for a probation violation warrant.
Señor, usted está aquí el día de hoy por ser prófugo de la justicia del estado de Nuevo México por motivo de una orden de aprehensión por incumplimiento de su régimen probatorio.
I'm going to be setting a fugitive from justice hearing for you that's going to take place on May 5th at 1:30 at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix.
Programaré una audiencia en la lista de prófugos de la justicia para el día 5 de mayo a la 1:30. Será en el Tribunal Superior en el centro de la ciudad.
At that time, you will be given the option of whether you want to waive extradition and return to the state of New Mexico, or whether you want to continue to contest extradition here in Maricopa County.
En esa ocasión se le dará la oportunidad de renunciar al proceso de extradición y regresar a Nuevo México, o podría optar por seguir en el condado Maricopa para refutar las pretensiones hechas en su contra.
I do need to set that hearing here today since we are using an interpreter. Unfortunately, it does have to be over the phone since you're currently at the initial appearance court.
Tendré que programar esa comparecencia el día de hoy y desafortunadamente como tengo un intérprete se tiene que hacer por teléfono porque está entre los detenidos para sus vistas incoatorias.
Because it is a probation violation warrant issued out of New Mexico, you are required at this time to be held without bond. No matter whether you waive or not, you do have to be held non-bondable in this case.
Como usted está detenido por una orden de aprehensión por no cumplir su régimen probatorio en el estado de Nuevo México, la ley requiere que usted esté preso sin derecho a fianza.
Do you have any questions regarding that information?
¿Tiene preguntas respecto a eso?
No.
All right. Sir, if you
No.
want to go ahead and have a seat, we'll go ahead and get that out to you. I did sign it again. I made a mistake on that. And Mr. Hernandez, I show that was everybody who did need a court interpreter, but could you just double check for us, make sure there's no one here who does require that assistance?
Yes, ma'am. Buenos días a todos. Soy el intérprete de la comisionada. Ella desea saber si hay alguien más en la sala que ocupa intérprete de español. Si es así, levante la mano, por favor, ahora.
No hands. All right, thank you so much for your help today.
You're welcome.
All right, so we are now to Carla Armenta Beltran. You want to step in the courtroom, and then we've got Jesus Casas Delgado up after that. Hi, ma'am, your full name and date of birth?
Carla Armenta Beltran, 10/02/03.
All right, hold on 1 second. I'm going to turn this off because I can't hear. All right, let's go ahead and say that again. Go ahead and give me your full name and date of birth.
Carla Armenta Beltran, 10/02/2003.
All right, thank you, ma'am. So you are here for a new case out of the Maricopa County Superior Court. The charge is 1 count of criminal trespass. That's a Class 6 felony. And in this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. Your court dates you have at this time are a status conference May 1 at 8:30 a.m., evidentiary hearing May 2 at 1:30 p.m., with that preliminary hearing May 5th at 8:30 a.m. Those will all be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Unfortunately, I do show that you were just through here about a week ago on another felony matter, so you are currently on felony release in CR 2025-107822. Because you were on felony release in that other matter at the time this new offense allegedly occurred and probable cause was found here, you are required at this time to be held without bond. That means you're not eligible for release here today. So that's why we set that evidentiary hearing for you. That's on May 2nd. That's the court date that we're required to set here today in order to allow the court to review that release term. In other words, your non-bondable status. Do you have any questions regarding that? All right, ma'am, we'll get you some paperwork that'll have that information in it as well, but you can go ahead and have a seat at this time. Thank you. All right, so we've got Jesus Casas Delgado, and then after that, Drew Wesley. All right, so your full name and date of birth?
Jesus Orlando Casas, 01/11/2006.
All right, you are here for two separate cases. So I'm going to start with the new charge that just came in. This will be a new case in Superior Court. The charge submitted is 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony. That has an offense date of December 25th of 2024. So in this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You have a status conference set on May 1st with a preliminary hearing May 5th, both at 8:30 a.m. Those are going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Based on the nature of the offense that you're here for, the facts surrounding that case, as well as the fact that you are currently on probation for the same charge and have another prior involving weapons as a juvenile, you do have a bond in this matter. That's a $50,000 secured appearance bond. In this matter, if you do post bond in our release, you are also going to be ordered still not to possess any weapons, which is already the case for you, and you do need to contact probation within 72 hours. That's not your primary hold, though. Your primary hold is going to be your probation matter, which is also on the calendar today. That's here for a Term 1 violation. So in that matter, the public defender has been appointed as well. Your date there is a revocation arraignment hearing May 1st at 8:30, and in that matter, you are being held without bond at this time. So that's pursuant to Rule 7.2 and 27.7 of the Arizona Rules of Criminal Procedure. And we'll get you some paperwork on both individual matters that'll have those court dates in it. So you have that information, but do you have any questions regarding either matter that I've just gone through?
No.
All right, thank you, sir. You can go ahead and step over and have a seat. And we've got Drew Wesley and then Tyler Adams after that. Hi, Mr. Wesley. Go and state your full name and date of birth.
Good morning. My name is Drew Ramon Wesley. My birthday, August 29th, 1995.
Thank you, sir. So you're here for a probation violation warrant. That's for a petition to revoke that was filed, looks like a while ago now, alleging a violation of terms 1, 6, 7, and 8. So in this matter, the public defender has been appointed. You have a revocation arraignment hearing May 1st at 8:30, and I'm going to affirm the bond that was on your warrant. So you are going to be bondable at this point, okay? So you have a $5,000 secured appearance bond in this matter with the additional orders that if you do end up posting bond in our release, you're still on probation here in Arizona. You do still have all the same terms. You do need to contact probation within 72 hours. There will be a phone number provided in your paperwork to do so.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
You know, I was on bond for this case already, and they haven't never gave me a probation officer. like, you know how when you go on bond and then you really supposed to go to probation court to like do the reinstatement and stuff like that?
That's your next stop. Yeah,
All
that's
right,
the
thank
hearing
you.
that I just gave you is going to
Okay.
be with the probation court. Yeah,
All
right
right.
here I'm just seeing you on the warrant itself at
Yeah.
initial appearance, but your next, that's where you're going next is to probation.
I appreciate
Okay.
that. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right.
All right, so we've got Tyler Adams and then Scott Allison is going to be up next. All right, so your full name and date of birth.
Tyler Adams, 7/23/78.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a new case. This is going to be out of the Goodyear Municipal Court. The charge that has been submitted here today is 1 count of assault and 1 count of disorderly conduct. Those are both Class 1 misdemeanors. Based on the information submitted, I don't show that you qualify for court-appointed counsel, but you do have the right to retain an attorney on your own behalf to represent you in this matter. If you believe that's incorrect and you should qualify for court-appointed counsel, you can let the judge out at the Goodyear Municipal Court know so that they can take a second look at this for you to see if you do in fact qualify. They're the ones that actually appoint counsel, okay? So in this matter, an arraignment hearing is set on April 30 at 8:30 a.m. That would be at the Goodyear Municipal Court. You'll get the address in your paperwork. I do recognize I don't think you had any other criminal history listed in the information that the court was provided. However, given the nature of the offense, this is considered domestic violence offense in nature, you do have a bond in this matter. That's a $3,500 secured appearance bond. That is a secured bond. You are able to work with a bail bonding company in order to post that amount. And if you do post bond and you are released from custody, given the nature of the offense, you do have some additional orders here that you are not to return to the scene of the offense, not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness involved in this. That does mean if you were previously residing there with the victim, that does mean you would need to find an alternate residence at this time, at least until further court order. If you need to return there in person because you have personal items there that you do need to collect, you can only do that in person using a civil standby. That's by contacting local law enforcement and scheduling it through them. And I do just want to warn you, and this will be in your paperwork as well, that a violation of a no victim contact order and a criminal release order could constitute aggravated harassment, which is a Class 6 felony. Do you have any questions regarding this information?
Nope.
All right, that will all be in your paperwork as well if you want to go ahead and have a seat at this time. Thank you, sir. All right, so we have Scott Allison and then Christopher Reyes up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth.
Scott Michael Allison, 9/25/1978.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. There are 5 counts of organized retail theft here. Those are all Class 4 felonies. The dates of offense in this matter range between February 7 of 2025 and April 11th of 2025. So there's 5 different individual dates of offense. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You do have a status conference set May 1st with a preliminary hearing May 5th, both at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Based on a review of your prior history, which you do have quite a bit in there, as well as being a multi-state offender, and more importantly, the fact that you're now here on 5 different dates of offense in this matter, you do have a bond. That's a $2,500 secured appearance bond. Your release order is going to include the additional terms that you are not to return to the scene of any of the offenses. You are not to have any contact with any complainant or witness involved in this matter. Do you have any questions regarding this information?
No.
All right, sir. Looks like your paperwork is ready to go. If you want to go ahead and have a seat at this time, thank you. All right, Mr. Reyes, and then Joseph Rascon will be up after that. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth.
Christopher Michael Reyes, 04/05/1987.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a probation violation warrant that was issued. That's going to be for a petition to revoke that was filed last month, alleging a violation of terms 3, 4, and 5 of your probation terms. So the public defender has been appointed. You've got a revocation arraignment hearing set on May 1st at 8:30. And in this matter, you do have a bond. The bond in the warrant's been affirmed. That's a $2,500 secured appearance bond. So in this matter, if you do postpone and are released from custody, you're still on supervised probation. You do still need to abide by the terms that you were provided. And that does include contacting probation within 72 hours. Do you have a question?
Yeah, what if there was an error? I was in the hospital and I was on with the judge Morales, Commissioner Morales. So they made a mistake while I was in there. This warrant's been inside there the whole time while I was at court with them, and Scott said.
I will let you know, those notes are actually in your probation notes, okay?
Yeah, so that's.
I'm aware of the fact that you were almost, I think you might have even, been looking at being petitioned.
They didn't even give me my.
It's not gonna change the outcome today, though.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying that they made an error on something where I got all my shots, I got all my medication for my SMI, so there was a lack of communication somewhere in the middle, so.
That's not something I can address here today. That's something you can certainly speak with your attorney
Okay, so I
about.
just
But I
got
will
put
let you know that the issues with your providers and stuff, they were documented in your probation notes. So that wasn't aware. Whether or not those are correct, I can't weigh into.
No, I don't
It's not
understand.
something we do here.
All right, I understand.
Okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, so we have Joseph Roscon, and then Kayla Stevens will be up next. All right, show your full name and date of birth.
Joseph Angel Rascon, January 17, 1997.
All right, thank you, sir. You've got 3 separate cases here today out of 3 different courts. So I'm going to start with your Superior Court case. This is here because a warrant was issued for a failure to appear in that matter. So you now have a status conference May 1st with a preliminary hearing May 5th, both at 8:30. Those are going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix.
Okay.
So in this matter, the bond on your warrant's been affirmed. This one is a $500 secured appearance bond. Your next case I have here is your matter that is out of the San Marcos Justice Court.
And that's a $250 payment?
That is a $250 bond that's in that matter. Your hearing there is at arraignment hearing April 30 at 10 a.m. Because I am setting the bond that was in that warrant, you do have a attorney appointed to represent you in that case. That's required by Rule 6.1 for the bond issue. So your next case we have here, this one's the one out of the Kyrene Justice Court. So in that matter, the arraignment hearing will be on April 30 at 8:30. That's at the Kyrene Justice Court. That case has a $100 secured appearance bond. Same thing with the attorney. I did appoint the public defender for the bond issue as required by Rule 6.1. All right, so you're going to get 3 sets of paperwork that'll have all that information.
So am I not getting released today?
You have $850 total for your bonds in all 3 matters. So that's the amount you would have to post to be released in these cases.
So I'm getting placed in the county jail.
So if you're unable to post the bonds, you would remain in the custody of the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office and be transported to attend those court dates that I provided you.
And then what about, so those days are like on the 30th, and today's like the 24th, right, of April?
Today's the 25th of April.
So like in 5 days I'll have court and then come back and then they'll tell me what.
So in 5 days you've got court for the Justice Court cases, and it looks like you have an extra day then for your Superior Court case, because that's not until May 1st.
Is it not going to be like time served? Because
That's an issue to speak with your attorney about.
Yeah, because supposedly the girl, she socked me in my face, and then what happened is I threw her on the floor or whatever, and then they charged me for misdemeanor assault. And then the second one was just for
the cases that you have here today are not things that get litigated here. I'm only seeing you on the warrant.
For like some type of random stuff, like the $200 thing, you know what I mean? But
again,
like,
those are issues to discuss with those courts.
All right, so then I'm not leaving. Okay.
Okay. All right, so we have Kayla Stevens, and then Dylan Wilson is going to be up next. Hi, ma'am, your full name and date of birth?
Kayla Lynn Stevens, 7/27/2000.
All right, thank you. So you're here for a probation violation warrant that was issued. That's for a petition to revoke filed, it's like about a year ago, alleging a violation of terms 3, 4, 5, and 15 of your probation term. So the public defender's been appointed. You've got a revocation arraignment hearing May 1st at 8:30. That's going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. So in this matter, the bond on your warrant's been affirmed. That's a $750 secured appearance bond. So if you do post bond and you are released from custody, you're still on supervised probation. In fact, you're on IPS for that level of supervision. So you do need to contact probation within 24 hours rather than the standard 72. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
All right, if you want to go ahead and step over, you can have a seat at this time.
Thank you.
We've got Dylan Wilson and then Marco Gonzalez up next. Hi, Mr. Wilson. Go and state your full name and date of birth.
Dylan Aaron Wilson, 8/19/02.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a bench warrant issued for a failure to appear in your Superior Court case. So in this matter, your new court dates now are going to be a status conference May 1 with the preliminary hearing May 5th, both at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. The bond in your warrant has been affirmed. You do have a $500 secured appearance bond. Otherwise, the rest of your release conditions do remain the same in your case.
So does that
Do you have
mean,
any questions?
does that mean I'll be released?
You've got a $500 bond that would have to be posted. If you're able to post a bond, then you would get released from custody, assuming you have no other holds. That's just in this case.
Yeah.
If you're unable to post a bond, then you would remain in custody, be transported to your court date on May 1.
Okay.
Okay? Do you want to go and step over? We'll get you some paperwork on that matter so you can have a seat. Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Gonzalez, and then we've got the Kinsasha Dango will be up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
What?
Your full name and your date of birth.
My name is Marco Antonio Gonzalez, born February 11, 1979, 46 years old, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. The charge that was brought in today is 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs, which is a Class 4 felony. So the public defender has been appointed. You do have a status conference set May 1 with the preliminary hearing May 5th, both at 8:30. Based on a review of your history, in particular your failure to appear history, you do have a bond, which is a $500 secured appearance bond.
Okay.
I'll let you know you have a note in here saying something about a parole hold violation coming. I don't know if that's the case or not. I don't know if you have a parole hold showing up at this time or will here shortly, but I just want to give you a heads up regarding that, since even if you post bond, that would keep you in custody.
That's no problem, ma'am. That's very true.
All right, any questions regarding
I'm
that?
just looking forward to getting back to getting to court and getting this taken care of and get on my way back to living.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a good day.
Thank you, you too. All right, so we've got Ms. Danga and Alexandra Licardis will be up next. Hi, ma'am, your full name and date of birth?
Kinsasha Danga, September 24th, 1999.
All right, thank you. So you've got a probation violation warrant that you're here for at this time. So in that matter, there was a petition to revoke filed that alleges a violation of terms 3 and 5 of your probation term. So the public defender has been appointed, revocation arraignment hearing set May 1st at 8:30, and that's at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. In this matter, the bond and the warrant's been affirmed. That's going to be a $700 secured appearance bond. If you do post bond and are released from custody, you're still on supervised probation, so you still have all of the same terms you had before. That does include contacting probation within 72 hours. Do you have any questions for me at this time?
No.
All right, ma'am, if you want to step over, you can go ahead and have a seat. All right, so we do have Ms. Zerkatis and then Louise Dickens up next. Hi, Ms. Zerkatis, go and state your full name and date of birth.
Alexandra Zerkatis, 62287.
All right, you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. The charges here are 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs, that's a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, that is a Class 6 felony. So in this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You do have a status conference set on May 9 with the preliminary hearing May 13, both at 8:30. I did review your history. I'm aware that you have some, but it looks like it's all fairly dated at this point. I think it was 2008 and earlier for that history. So because of that, I am going to follow the PSA recommendation here. You are being released on your own recognizance. It is going to be your promise to appear at all future court dates.
Of course.
Do you have any questions regarding that?
Nope.
All right, if you want to go ahead and step over, you can go ahead and pick up that paperwork there. We've got Louise Dickens up next. After that, it is going to be James Edwards. Hi, sir. Your full name and date of birth?
Louis Dickens, March 28, 1967.
All right, thank you, sir. So you've got 2 separate cases here. These are both going to be warrants issued out of the Goodyear Municipal Court.
Okay.
So in each of these matters, they've set an arraignment hearing for you on May 14 at 1 p.m. That will take place at the Goodyear Municipal Court. You'll get the address in your paperwork.
Okay.
These are both post-adjudication failure to pay warrants. In other words, you have fines there that weren't taken care of. That's the reason they issued the warrants. Because it is a post-adjudication warrant in each matter, I'm going to be releasing you to appear at that next court date on your own. You are being released on your own recognizance. It is going to be your promise to appear. If you do fail to appear on that May 14th court date, I'd imagine additional warrants are going to be issued in this matter. All right, do you have any questions regarding that?
No, ma'am.
All right, if you want to go ahead and step over, you can go ahead and pick up that paperwork that's over there. All right, so we've got James Edwards, and then LaTanya Jones will be up after that. All right, so your full name and date of birth?
James Edwards, February 11th, 1992.
All right, thank you, sir. So you're here for a warrant issued out of the Highland Justice Court. So in that matter, You have an arraignment hearing set May 15 at 9 a.m. That'll take place at the Highland Justice Court. You'll get the address for the court included in the paperwork you're going to be receiving here. I do show this is the first warrant issued in this matter, since it is the first warrant and it is a traffic warrant or a traffic offense. I am going to be releasing you on your own recognizance to give you another shot to appear at that next court date. So I'll just warn you, if you do fail to appear at that May 15 court date, it's very likely another warrant's going to issue at that time. You might not have the same luck next time you come through, okay? Any questions regarding that?
No.
All right, sir, if you want to go ahead and step over, go ahead and pick up that paperwork that's over there. All right, so we've got Ms. Jones. All right, Ms. Jones, if you could state your full name and date of birth.
Latanya Jones, 4/18/1972.
All right, thank you, ma'am. So you are here because you have a fugitive of justice warrant out of the state of California.
Yes.
So in this matter, they were notified. They did both confirm that warrant as well as extradition in your matter. And you got that laminated sheet? Did you have an opportunity to look at that?
Yes, yes.
So basically, that laminated sheet gives you the waiver of extradition language. And
No, I want to go. I don't want to waive it.
Okay. I need to go through the options
okay.
here, and then if you don't want to waive, if you want to set a hearing here, we'll go ahead and do that. But let me go ahead and go through the two options.
What do you mean set a hearing here? No, I want to go to California.
You want to go back to California?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and go through the information,
Okay.
and then if you let me know then that you do want to still go back to California,
Yes.
we'll go ahead and go through the waiver information, and we'll
Okay.
have you come up here and sign, okay?
Okay.
All right, so what you're saying is you do want to waive extradition and return to the state of California, okay? So when you do that, what would happen is you would remain in the Maricopa County Jail without bond until California comes to pick you up on that warrant.
Okay.
California, in turn, would have 30 days starting tomorrow in order to do that. That 30-day time frame starts tomorrow unless you have any local open cases. I'm not aware of any.
No.
But if you do have any, that has to conclude first, and then the 30-day time frame starts, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that's if you want to waive extradition and return to California, you'd have no further hearings here in Maricopa.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to.
So your other option is that you have the right to demand an extradition hearing here in Maricopa County. Now, if you chose to do that, we'd set that hearing for you on May 5th at 1:30. And in that case, I can't appoint an attorney to represent you there because it's a civil case. The extradition proceedings are civil, but you do have the right to retain an attorney. There are sometimes public defenders there who can provide assistance. Now, in that case, you would be entitled to bond, but the bond in your warrant is pretty significant. You do have a $100,000 secured appearance bond as part of that warrant.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the process there is that a governor's warrant has to be signed by the governors of both states. That can take up to 90 days. So that's how long they have in order to execute the warrant, okay? Mm-hmm. So based on that, do you still want to waive extradition and return to California?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
So I just need to have you answer some questions out loud because I need to confirm that it is a knowing and voluntary waiver on your part, and then we'll have you come up here, okay?
Okay.
All right, so did you read that waiver of extradition paperwork?
Yes,
that
I
laminated
did.
sheet?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you understand that you do not have to sign the waiver here today?
Yes.
You understand that you have the right to an extradition hearing here in Maricopa County?
Yes.
And you have the right to hire an attorney at your own expense for that hearing?
Yes.
And you understand that you have the right to demand that a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states before your return to California?
Yes.
And you understand if you choose not to waive extradition, you would have the right to bail, that $100,000 bond. If you waive extradition, you would be held non-bondable at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You want to give up those rights in order to sign the waiver paperwork?
Yes.
Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything in order to get you to sign it?
No, ma'am.
All right. Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication within the last 24 hours?
No, ma'am.
All right. I do find that based on those responses, you are knowingly, intelligently, voluntarily signing the waiver. I'll be signing it as well, and I am directing the Sheriff's Office to notify California at this time that you are ready to return. California will have 30 days from tomorrow to pick you up unless there are local charges pending. If there are local charges pending, the 30-day time frame would not start until the conclusion of that case. Do you have any questions before you come up and sign?
I just want to, do the weekends count? Do those days count? Okay, that's fine.
Okay, thank you. Yes, so starting tomorrow, the days begin to count.
So it
yes,
didn't
it's
start
7 days a week.
yesterday.
Yeah.
It didn't start yesterday.
It did not start yesterday, unfortunately. It starts the day after you waive.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and make the changes that I have in here, and if you want to go ahead and come up and to let you know when you need to sign. And one more. All right, and it does sound like we do have, and Ms. Jones, if you are done signing, you can go ahead and have a seat, and we'll get you paperwork. Thank you, good luck to you, ma'am. Yeah, they give you just the waiver stuff, but we'll print it out for you. All right, so it sounds like we do have Ms. Booth here now, so she can go ahead and step in the courtroom if we're ready to go. Yes, thank you. All right, ma'am, your full name and date of birth?
Amber Rose Booth, October 4th, 1990.
All right, thank you, ma'am. So you are here for probation matters that you have here. So I know you're in custody for something else. I'm not aware of what else you have here, but you do have these 3 probation warrants that we had to see you on. So that's the reason we brought you over here.
Okay.
So in those probation cases, there was a petition to revoke that was filed that alleges a violation of terms 3, 4, and 5 of your probation term. So the public defender has been appointed. Your revocation arraignment hearing is set May 1st at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix.
Okay.
So in this matter, the bond in each of those warrants has been affirmed. Each of those has a $250 secured appearance bond, so it's $750 total for all 3 matters.
Okay.
If you do post bond and are released from custody, since you're on IPS for your level of supervision, you do need to contact probation within 24 hours.
Okay, if I make bond.
And that's if you make bond and get released from custody.
Okay.
Yeah, while you're in custody, you don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, because I know that I'm going to be here at least until the 1st.
Okay,
So-
yeah, and that's in your other matter that you
Yeah,
have?
correct.
All right, then obviously leave this bond in place at least until that hold gets lifted,
Yeah, I figured
okay?
as much.
All right, we'll get you your paperwork for this matter. If you want to go ahead and step over, though, you can go ahead and have a seat. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, before we call our last 2 matters, I'm going to go ahead and put our house calls on record. So our first house call is going to be for Andrew Small. That's going to be date of birth 10/22/1988, and I do show that he is a house call due to being combative. So he's here for a new case out of the West Mesa Justice Court for 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 1 misdemeanor. He's not entitled to court-appointed counsel due to the nature of the charge, and arraignment hearing's been set May 13 at 8:30 at the West Mesa Justice Court. And based on the nature of the charge, he is being released on his own recognizance. Next matter is going to be for Bless You Harry, date of birth 6/9/89. I show he is a house call today due to being unable to function in the general population. He's here for a new case out of Superior Court as alleging 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of criminal trespass, a Class 2 misdemeanor, 1 count of assault, a Class 3 misdemeanor. Public defender has been appointed. Status conference is set May 9. Preliminary hearing May 13, both at 8:30. That's at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. And in that matter, he is being released to pretrial services supervision with the additional orders not to return to the scene of the offense, not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. Next matter is for Natalie Molina, date of birth 1/23/2007. Who's here for a new case out of the Surprise Municipal Court. I show she is a house call today due to being combative, so she's here for 1 count of disorderly conduct, Class 1 misdemeanor, 1 count of assault, Class 3 misdemeanor. An attorney will be appointed to represent her. That'll be addressed at her next court hearing at the Surprise Municipal Court. Arraignment hearing is set April 29 at 1:30, and in that matter, there is a $500 secured appearance bond with additional orders that she is not permitted to return to the scene of the offense, not have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. Civil standby language has been included in her paperwork. Nakai Barnes, date of birth 9/3/2002, is a house call based on the information I have due to bizarre behavior. He's here for a warrant that was issued for a petition to revoke filed alleging a violation of terms 3, 5, and 15. The public defender has been appointed. Revocation arraignment hearing set May 1st at 8:30. In that matter, there is a $250 secured appearance bond. The bond and the warrant has been affirmed. All right, looks like we are clear, ready to go, so we can go ahead and start with Mr. Noriega, Delvin Noriega. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Devon Ray Noriega, 5/20/94.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a grand jury warrant that was issued. That's for an indictment that's been filed that alleges 1 count of failing to register as a sex offender, a Class 4 felony, with the offense date of November 30 of 2023. So the public defender's office has been appointed. We do have an arraignment hearing set on May 2nd at 8:30. That's at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. The bond in your warrant's been affirmed. This one's a $1,500 cash-only appearance bond. If you do post bond and are released from custody, it'd also be subject to the supervision of pretrial services with electronic monitoring. All right, do you have any questions regarding anything I've just gone through here?
When's the court date?
The next court date is May 2nd. Okay? All right, if you want to go ahead and step over, we'll provide that information over there to you as well. We've got Albert Elazar, and I show he is the last one in the courtroom to be seen. Oh, do we have to bring in Mr. Elazar, or do we? Okay.
Sorry, they bring in my...
Oh, no, no problem. We're good.
Thank you, ma'am. For you, please.
All right, sir, if you can state your full name and date of birth.
Albert LSR 32282.
All right, thank you, sir. You are here for a new case out of the Maricopa County Superior Court. The charges here today are 10 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. That is a Class 2 felony. So in this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You do have 2 court dates currently set at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. That's a status conference May 1st with a preliminary hearing May 5th, both at 8:30 a.m. And in this matter, based on the nature of the offense that you're here for, you do have a bond in this case that is a $75,000 cash-only appearance bond. Now, if you do post bond and you are released from custody, you are going to be released subject to the supervision of pretrial services with electronic monitoring added as part of those release conditions. That is required by Arizona law. Now, you're also going to be ordered not to have any contact with any complainant, witness, or victim if there is one. I don't believe you have one identified in your case. You are also not to have any contact with any minors. Do you currently have any minors residing in your residence?
I do, but I never make contact with any minors, ever.
Do you have minors residing in your residence? At your home?
No,
Okay,
no.
all right, then I'll leave that as is right now. So those are your terms that will be provided in your paperwork as well, but do you have any questions regarding it?
So once I post the bond, $75,000, right?
You do have a $75,000 bond, and then
I'll...
once you post that, you'll meet with pretrial services because you do have to have electronic monitoring added prior to your release.
Okay.
And then you'd be released from custody with the court dates coming up.
Okay, so I'll be released with the bond, right?
You would be released on bond.
On bond, okay.
Correct.
75,000,
A $75,000 bond.
Okay,
Okay?
okay.
All right, if you want to go ahead and step over there, you can go and pick up that paperwork that you have there. Thank you.
Is this the release paperwork?
That is the release paperwork. It has your court dates as well as your release conditions.
Thank you so much. Ma'am, I'll be right back right away. Let me put in.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep, take your time. All right, I will go ahead and turn off the recorder since we are done.